And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Brood War Terran himself, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. We have our series, we have our best of 5, we have our TvT. You don't need Stargate with medics. You don't. You also don't need a third base. True. But now that we are going to be settling in, Cure, he's going to be a lot more comfortable here, and he's going to be favored with when he's rocking the StarCraft 2 Terran race, 100%. When it comes to our TvTs, Cure, he has been one to embrace mech, of course. We already saw Cure play mech against Zerg, we saw him play mech against Protoss, and we're expecting mech at some point here against Terran as well. Cure, I'm not saying that he'll play mech every game, not at all. He's not one to play mech every game, but he is one to mix it in. So we're expecting to see it like maybe twice in this series. Maybe twice, maybe more. Meanwhile, HonMonO, he's not really one to embrace mech too much, as he's going for, wait, what? A Rax into Factory opener here. Interesting, off of 1 gas. Cure going for an expansion. Again, single gas opener means Rax expand from the side of Cure. HonMonO, with the earlier factory, I was talking about mech. Are we willing to open up Vulture? Do we open up Vulture into a second factory as well? Into a... it's been a while since I've seen double factory mass Vulture before. But never mind. Gonna be expanding. Does expand, does get the CC. But HonMonO, you have my attention. We'll see if he does mech it up. Here comes the first Vulture initially. But we're looking for a second factory. That's what we're looking for. He lifted the middle max. Oh yeah, thank you. So he did lift it. Did miss that. As we have our 1-1-1 setup here out of HonMonO. We should be seeing something similar here out of Cure as well. When it comes to TvT, it's an interesting dynamic here where we often see a lot of buyer tank. Air control is, of course, a must. Becomes very crucial as we get into the mid-game. Starports are on the way. We'll see if HonMonO opts to go for something like a Wraith-based opener. We have seen that in TvT. Be a little bit trendy. Same with Banshee openers, of course. It's almost the equivalent. Machine shops on the way. Speaking of Wraith, there it is. We have our initial Wraith. As I mentioned before, like, air control is crucial in TvT, so getting into early Wraiths makes sense. And yep, there we go. Second factory. I mean, after we saw the 1-1-1, it did scream mech. So second factory, mech is on the way. And we are going to calm things down and slow things down after an intense couple of matches. As we mentioned, HonMonO, he cheesed the hell out of Classic and Rumieth, did nothing but cheese, nothing but all-ins, but as we were emphasizing coming into this series, HonMonO often plays standard against Terran. Once again, Hyperflight Rotors here from Cure. Again, this has been very meta in StarCraft 2 to go Hyperflight Rotors instead of Cloak, just so you have more micro potential with your Banshees. This is also indicative of mech as well, so we might just be getting to mech versus mech. Oh boy. So we're expecting a second factory out of Cure. It's gonna be a long best of 5, isn't it? It's gonna... Oh boy, okay. I'm stretching. Locking in. Let's go. As we have our academy here from HonMonO. If you see the academy, you might be thinking, oh, is he playing bio? Is he going to go into stim? No. The academy is a prerequisite for comsat stations to be able to scan. So currently, there are no scans available for HonMonO. That will soon change with the academy. Meanwhile, we're banking up those Banshees. again, to harass across the map. Because HonMonO hasn't seen anything yet, he has no anti-air. Once the academy finishes, once he gets his compensations, it is crucial that he scouts these banshees, otherwise the banshees can pop off and can deal critical damage. And he does have the wraiths, sure, but he will need that detection. Ooh, I say wraith, he has wraiths, never mind. 3 wraiths already. He should be fine. Should be good. His 3 wraiths are on patrol. Third TC is on the way. Tech lab on the racks. Hello. We might see another racks. Okay, we're not going into mech. We're getting into biotank. So biotank out of cure. Thank God. I don't know if my body was ready for mech versus mech on Maganatha war maps. Not like this, papi. Not like this. Scan does reveal the Raxes. With that, HonMonO is aware of the bio play from Cure. He is aware. Meanwhile, the Banshees, they do dip in. Ooh, and they get 1, they get 2, they get 3 SCVs. But it's not quite worth it here. 3 SCVs that will still lose a Banshee. May lose the other Banshee as well. Nice kiting here from HonMonO. He kites well, and the Banshee barely gets away. We're not rallied. We're not rallied. Oh, yeah, not rallied. And with that, both Banshees do fall. 2 Banshees for 3 SCVs. It is well worth it for HonMonO. So better trade for the Red Terran. HonMonO, he does move out. Siege mode has been researched. Meanwhile, back at home, we have Macfield. Macfield Accelerator is on the way. I mean, I guess that's going to be it to help assist against the Wraiths. Cyclone should go down. Cyclone does fall. HonMonO, he's moving out. He's pushing in towards the natural. And we'll see if HonMonO can zone away the Raven. We'll see if he can zone away. As tanks are shelling away at the bunker, they're getting within range of the tank. Universe Matrix is researched, but can he get close? Can he get close with those Ravens? Comes in for a flank, out of vision of the Terran, of HonMonO. Coming in from behind. And HonMonO, the race out of position. The boys are being pulled. Mass disable. Gets 1, gets 2, throws down the auto starts as well. HonMonO caught off guard. And the race are falling. But he might still have too much. Yeah, he has too much anyway. He breaks on through. He busts through the natural, takes down 23 SCVs, and HonMonO, he's done it. He has done it. He has broken Cure. He's broken his back. Cure, he's down to a handful of Marines. He's down to a handful of Ravens. There are no tanks left. And HonMonO, he's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Again, it was so crucial that the Banshees did nothing, essentially. The Banshees were a big investment. They kind of fell on their face. Cure lost map control very quickly. And everything just snowballed from there. Everything just snowballed from there. As HonMonO, he will deny the upgrades. Eventually. Will deny them, pushing up the ramp into the production line. Oof. And we'll see if HonMonO starts to inspire Cure. As oh god. As it does mass disable. Once again, the Ravens, they do outposition the Wraiths. Cure with a very nice fight. So he does mass disable, he breaks out. Takes the best fight he could have hoped for. Wraiths, they do pick up a couple of Ravens. I say a couple, every Raven goes down. GG gets called. Even though Cure breaks out, he lost everything in the process, and HonMonO takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. HonMonO does take a lead in this series, and we'll see if Cure can recover here. Again, Cure, he had a really rough start with the investment into the Banshees, with losing map control, and of course with not being able to scout the move out of his opponent. He was very unprepared. We saw he was able to come in from behind with the Ravens, with those disables, but it was not good enough. GG. GG, well played. HonMonO takes a lead, and now we're jumping into game number 2. We'll see if Cure can bounce back, or if HonMonO can extend his lead. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Blue Storm, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the StarCraft 2 Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And welcome one to Blue Storm. Blue Storm is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground, but it has its own unique features with how narrow the entrance is to the natural base, with the ramps, with the high ground. We'll see how he's set up, as HonMonO is going to be rocking up with Brood War Terran once again. No surprises here. We expect Cure at every moment to embrace SE2 Terran as often as he can, as it is loser's pick. Reminder, loser's pick, so Cure did decide to stick with SE2 Terran. Double gas. Okay, double gas opener at a Cure. This time he's going for a delayed CC. He's going for a faster factory into a more aggressive and assertive start. From the side of HonMonO, I do know that I did say, if you recall, we did mention how HonMonO, he plays typically standard against Terran, but I feel like Blue Storm might be a viable map to be aggressive and to be a little bit cheeky. So we'll see if HonMonO does adjust, and we'll see if we do end up embracing something like a double factory opener, which we haven't seen yet. So have a double gas. First factory is on the way. Got my attention. Have my attention. SCV Scout does confirm. And speaking of double factory, there it is. Double factory, mass vulture on the way here from HonMonO. Again, the reason why we brought up this build even before, or even as we were getting to the game, is just because of the map itself, right? The map does kind of lend towards this more aggressive style. Cure back at home, going for a safe opener. Cure, he will have the tools to defend, but we'll see if he's familiar with this build and familiar with what's coming his way. The Reaper should confirm, but we'll see. Reaper moves out. Does scout one factory, does scout the second factory, easies. Does see the double factory setup, is aware what's going on. He is aware. Meanwhile, shout out to Games Kingdom in the chats. Gustavo. Thank you so much. Obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast or ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome to the SC Evo. Now, typically, when we go into Mass Vulture like this, we usually go into a machine shop into fast ion thrusters. That is not the case here, though. Interesting. We're rushing into siege mode instead. Okay, this is a variation that I'm less familiar with here. So, rushing into siege mode, we're going into a tank switch. It is going to be a mech-based build, of course, but, and we're still one base, by the way. Still a one base setup, still a one base all in. Cure, he has a piece of the puzzle. He saw the initial factory, so he's setting up defensively. We have bunkers on the way. He's setting up his bunkers. Replay cast again. I mean, we weren't able to cast this live because we were casting another event live. So usually we're casting events live, and to catch up on events that we miss, we do have replay casts to catch up on them. So we do have SE Evo replay cast today and tomorrow, and we are live casting the Pond cast this evening, for example. So now here come the tanks. Here comes HonMonO. HonMonO does move out, going for his own drop. Remember, siege mode is researched. So he is going for it. He does set up. He is within range of the mineral line, I believe. Yeah, he is within range of the tank as well. Ooh, the first tank goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the first tank does fall. Cure out of position. Yeah, the Rax does land to tank some shots. As the Wraith is moving in as well. Just moving in. Marine does add some DPS. And the Viking, one more shot. Ooh, does go down as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the Viking goes down. The CC's under fire. Does need that vision. Rax is moving in. And I believe the healing rate of the repair is not going to be good enough. There's too many tanks. Yeah, too many tanks. 2 more volleys. Yeah, CC forced to lift. And with that, Cure is stuck in a one-base economy, but the Liberator has arrived, and with that, Cure holds. Cure, he does hold on. HonMonO back at home. Late CC, remember this was a one-base all-in initially, a one-base setup, so very late expansion for HonMonO. Likewise, he has to rebuild his racks. So you said the range of Brood War is bigger? Yes. Brood War tanks have 1 extra range, I believe. They have 1 extra range compared to SE2 tanks. But here he does hold, he does defend. And what's important here is, again, because this is all on one base, HonMonO's economy is still worse. HonMonO, he has a worse economy here. Cure is able to restabilize. And the pressure is on HonMonO to do more damage. He needs more. He needs to get more done. Once again, trying to get within range of the mineral line. Oof. Race. They get caught out. Rates are getting caught out. We have just massive Viking on the way here from Cure. Reactivating out those Vikings. And HonMonO, he didn't achieve enough damage here. It was nice. If he had killed the CC, that would have been huge. But he didn't. He didn't kill the CC. Didn't kill enough workers. And it's going to port Mass Wraith as well. Once again, embracing mech. But the game will continue. From here, the game does continue. Nice use of Cloak, catching out one of the Vikings. Yeah, 1 Viking goes down, gets 1, gets 2. Ooh, as we do drop in a couple of vultures, let's go. Going for the vulture drop, okay. Vultures, they bust into the mineral line. Cure, he's out of position. Raise, they do, don't quite catch the transferring workers, but they do get on top of the add-ons. A couple of add-ons are going down. Curie's holding onto a scan, or at least he's waiting for one. Yeah, scan is not yet available. There we go. Does scan. Gets 1 rate. Gets 1. That was the only scan. They say back off. Now Curie, he still has a high worker count. He still has a solid economy here, but now there's no mining. Yeah, there's no mining in the main base. He's repairing. Boys are pulled away. HonMonO, he's gluing his way back into this. Going for a 3rd starport. And committing to Mass Wraith. Yeah, he is committing to Mass Wraith. He wants his Vikings. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Doesn't quite one shot. Takes down the Liberator. A couple of nice pickups here. And we're still waiting for a turret. A turret would work so well. The tanks are back. Tanks, they move in, they shell away against the mineral line, and this time we have air control. That's what's important here. The tanks are nice, but the race really make it here for HonMonO. As it's so crucial that he maintains that air control. He sniped the Liberator earlier. Ooh, does overextend? It does overextend. Has to be careful with those rates. Is that a 4th starport? Let's go! Getting a 4th starport. He wants that air superiority. Stacking up his rates, coming in from left-hand side. From here, he can get on top of the bunker. And again, CranKy chose not to get any turrets. So it's been that much more difficult to deal with this. As Race, once again, they dive in, they pick up the Raven. Oh, Raven shot does go off. Nice anti-armor missile, but despite that, no more Vikings. Yeah, no more Vikings. GG gets called. The mass Wraith does eventually overwhelm, and HonMonO takes game number 2. GG. Whew. GG, well played, HonMonO. He does extend his lead in the series here. Once again, we actually spoke about this, if you remember, in Kier's match against, I think it was against Classic. Or was it against Rumiath? We spoke about how, sorry, it was against Classic, that's it. We spoke about how Kier, a big disadvantage that he has here is his inexperience with SE Evo and his inexperience with some of these builds and some of these styles. So because of that, we did see a bit of a shaky response. Basically, ideally, in TvT, in StarCraft 2, when your opponent goes 2-port Mass Viking, which is a build, it is the build to go 2-port 2-base Mass Viking, ideally you want to respond with your own second starport to keep up with that Viking production, to keep up with that air, with that kind of air control, with that air fight, and to be able to sustain yourself and even win that as well. Here, we didn't actually have a second starport from Cure. Even though he had a better economy, he never got a second starport. He didn't really emphasize Viking production that much, partly because he didn't really know what was happening. He wasn't really aware of the mass starport behind this. If he was, we would have responded with another starport, with additional Viking production to focus on that fight in the air, to prioritize that instead. But that just wasn't the case for Cure. It wasn't the case. He wasn't really expecting the mass wraith, I don't think, and it's something that did catch him off guard. It's something that I'm sure he's never played against. GG. GG, well played. And again, this is where we're getting into game 3, and do we 3-0? Ay. Can we make a series out of this? Can we bounce back? As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Terran player. We have the Brood War Terran once again, representing Team Hyper 1, leading the series 2-0. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player with the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, the SE2 Terran. It is a Cure. Try StarCraft Mass Recall. Is Mass Recall the offshoot of SE Evo, or is that something else? I know that the people working on StarCraft Evolution, they are also working on a campaign. They're working on their version of the Brood War campaign, like SE Evo Brood War campaign in SE2. And yeah, a lot of work is being put into that, of course. I think Mass Recall is something else. I think Mass Recall is just a port of the campaign, right? That's it now. Cure going for the proxy. Let's go. Double gas opener. Cure, he commits to the proxy. Welcome on to Pylon, of course, one of the smaller maps in the map pool. As HonMonO is setting up back at home. Mass Recall was Brood War campaign for SE2. Yeah, it was just the Brood War campaign, but I believe the people behind StarCraft Evolution, behind this mod, they're working on their own version, basically, of the Brood War campaign in SE2, but it's going to be incorporating all of the new models, of course, all the new units, all the Brood War units. Like, it's going to be a little bit more, I guess, faithful. It's a lot more work, of course, but they're working on it. Reaper is being zoned away. And we are going proxy Reaper. Okay, single ranks, factories back at home, so not the most committed proxy. It is aggressive, yes, but not too committed here. We'll see if Cure can get some damage done, as the Vulture has arrived. With the help of the Vulture, HonMonO should be able to hold his own. Yeah, should be able to chase this down. As the Reaper does pull away. Does pull away. CC on location for Cure. CC on location almost done for HonMonO. So HonMonO, he has a lead here. He has a faster base. He will have a bit of a slightly better economy. Cure behind this going into Macfill accelerators. Okay, so every game so far in this series, Cure, he's gone bio tank. He has yet to embrace mech. We'll see if this is going to be the first of that. So we'll see. Yep, there we go. Second factory is on the way. So Cure is going Mass Cyclone. And we'll see if he can apply pressure and overwhelm HonMonO. Reapers into the main base, getting one SCV, getting two SCVs. Oof. Yeah, two SCVs going down, getting a third SCV, just barely not. As Vultures, they chase down the final Reaper. And HonMonO, he has no idea what's going on. That's the big concern here for HonMonO, is that he hasn't scouted. He doesn't know what's happening, he doesn't know that Cyclones are amassing. Oh no! Yeah, it doesn't pull away the Vulture Power enough. One Vulture goes down already. The Cyclone, he wants the Wraith. He wants the Wraith, and the Wraith, it looks like it is going to fall as well. Massive pickoffs. Cyclone gets a Vulture, gets a Wraith. Ay, ay, ay. Gets a Marine as well. Can he get a tank? No shot. Oh god. If the tank goes down, that might just be game. As the tank gets very low. Oof. Gets another Vulture. Again, the efficiency has been brutal. You can see just how much has been lost so far. 2 Vultures, 2 Marines, a Wraith. And we're still just massing on more Cyclones. So massing more Cyclones. Oh, that's it. That's it. I was trying to remember the name, but so this is StarCraft Evolution. The campaign, the ported brutal campaign in StarCraft 2 is called StarCraft Evolution Complete. So SEVO Complete. If you look that up, then you can play the brutal campaign in SE2 with all these models, with all these units, with again like all of this stuff. I guess you can think of it like a newer Mass Recall, I guess. As once again we're going to port Mass Wraith. This is a concern. HonMonO, he still hasn't scouted. He's still in the dark as to what's happening. Mass Wraith can work well against a more standard composition, but Mass Wraith, they're not really known for their anti-ground. I'm really concerned for HonMonO here. We'll see. The tank support will help, right? If he can try to force a fight within range of these tanks, then HonMonO can take a fight. But we'll see. As Cyclones do rotate. Scan across the map, does confirm the Mass Cyclone. That's the first scan of the game for HonMonO. Cyclones, they're already up the ramp. Ooh, doesn't quite commit in. Wraiths are going across. Disable is ready, which means Cure, he can break through that siege line. The tanks are on siege, and these tanks are going to go down. Yeah, every tank here will fall. Wraiths, they try to race back. But without tank support, okay, they do have a tank. They do have one tank. They go for the Raven. Raven goes down. Gets one Cyclone. Oh god, that was not worth it. That was not worth it here. And Curie's just getting further ahead. He's just snowballing out of control, getting further ahead, getting his third base on location. He's replaced the Raven. He's built out more Cyclones. I can see Mass Wraith working here, but only if they have those tanks in range. They've not been in range. I mean, there's only 2 tanks. So HonMonO is moving out. He's moving out. There are no turrets back at him to defend, despite seeing the massive raid, so damage is going to be done. He's going to get a couple of SCVs. That's 3 SCVs going down. Oof. Will the race get caught? These are not worth it. That was 3 race for 3 SCVs. HonMonO, he's at least trying to buy some time. Oof, losing another raid. 4 for 4. Ay, ay, ay. And it's going to be a rocky game here for HonMonO. He's just now getting a 3rd CC. Now, there's a chance where HonMonO can turtle. To be honest, he could just turtle up as hard as he can, and slowly get a 3rd, and slowly get a 4th, and try to catch back up. But if he gets caught on siege like this, Cure, he can just overwhelm. He also has his Master Raven, of course, if he's able to land those disables, and HonMonO, so then Cure, he can break this army. Comes down to the Ravens. Does catch a couple of these Cyclones. Okay, not a bad initial trade for HonMonO. I say that, he does still trade though, and trades on something he can afford. Yeah, as he gets caught out. The Wraith count is completely reset. Ahaka losing every single Wraith. Again, fighting out of range here of these tanks. Does fight out of range. And now here come the Master Sables. Yeah, disables most, if not every tank. Yeah, almost every tank. Cyclones, it's still going to be difficult to push up the ramp, but they will be able to. Yeah, they break through. We get the auto turrets as well. GG gets called, and Cure, he does fight back. We have a back and forth. We have a series. We're going to game 4. GG. GG, well played. Just a really rough start for HonMonO, losing the early race, losing the early tanks as well, and getting caught off guard by the Mass Cyclone. With that, Cure does overwhelm, and Cure takes the game. Let's go. Does take a game, and from here, ooh, this is what I was worried about. So for the first time, HonMonO, he will lose a game in this series, which means it's HonMonO's pick. And HonMonO, he's picking SC2 Terran, which means he's forcing Cure to play Brood War Terran. And this is where, I mean, maybe Cure is a little bit inspired as to what HonMonO was up to. We'll see. We'll see. The pressure is still on Cure, but he is fighting back. Let's go. Let us go. Can Spider Mines hit Cyclones? They could hit Cyclones. Bearing in mind that was Cyclone Ravens, so detection or trying to have like any kind of hidden units wouldn't really work too well. Bearing in mind as well that if you went into Vulture production, that means you would not have anywhere near as many tanks. And the composition specifically there for HonMonO was Tank Wraith, which I would say is a better composition than Wraith Vulture. The tanks were pretty crucial. We saw that unfortunately HonMonO, he was fighting out of range of the tanks. If he was able to make use of them, then he could have taken some better fights. But yeah, I don't think it was just a rough start to begin with, just because he lost so much in the beginning of the game. Here we go. Now we're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the top side of Sylphid, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the SC2 Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And in the bottom right-hand corner, getting proxied. Let's go. Getting proxied, we have the Brood War Terran player here representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. I saw in the chat, I played so much Brood War as a kid, I didn't play S2 that much. I'm similar in a sense. We had this discussion before, where we had this discussion on stream before, and we're going to keep it brief because we are cheesing. But playing and consuming media back in the day was very different, right? Back in the day, like, was very, very different because you were so limited in what you had, right? Back in the day, there was like no Netflix, no Disney Plus, no streaming service, YouTube. This is pre-YouTube as well. So whenever you like bought a movie and had a movie as a kid, like a VHS or even a DVD, you'd typically like rewatch that movie quite a lot because that's all you had, right? Like you didn't have as much accessible to you, so you'd rewatch it, and you would like it'd be a little bit more ingrained into you as a result, like rewatching like Star Wars all the time or Lord of the Rings or etc. Whatever movies you would have. Same with games. I feel like you would often replay games because how often would you get games as a kid? Like I would get games like maybe for my birthday and for Christmas. Like that's it, right? Like birthday and Christmas, that's when you get like maybe a new game. But like that's what you're limited to. So you'd often like just replay it over and over and over again. So I played Brood War so much as a kid as well, just because that's all we had. As opposed to now, you get a Steam sale, you get like 10 games for $5, and you just play everything. Ah. Now there, to have our Master Reaper initially into double proxy Marauder. Okay, tech labs are being set up. Reapers into the main. Already causes more appreciation. For sure. Whether it's appreciation, like whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, like it's just something that maybe becomes a little bit more impactful than it otherwise would be, just because you consume it so much more often, right? Like there are pros and cons, for sure. But like I played the StarCraft 2 campaign I think once. I think I played it twice for the achievements. Sure, played it a second time for the achievements, but that's it. For Brood War, I played that so often. But again, that was one of the only PC games that I had. So. Last time I go play. Meanwhile, the Proxy 2 Rex is getting underway again, going into Concussive Shell, into a one-base solo with Proxy Tanks. Let's go, Proxy Tanks. Marauders, they push forward. What do we have to defend? We're getting into Vultures and Spider Mines. Okay. Spider Mines are amassing. Wraiths as well. I think the problem is that even if you had like a bad movie as a kid, like you'd still rewatch it over and over again. Like I watched like episode 1 a lot as a kid because I had it. Doesn't make it a good movie, but it's ingrained into my skull. Had on VHS. As HonMonO, he is getting within range of the bunker, and it looks like eventually it will go down. I mean, is denying mining time. Behind this going 2-port. Okay, 2-port Mass Viking. So 2-port Mass Viking here by HonMonO. Race, they do take down the initial floating racks. So far, Cure, he's holding on. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Cure. Cure, he has more mining, he has more saturation, he has more economy. HonMonO, he's on a timer. He's on a timer here. Rax does barely go down. We can see HonMonO slowly pushing forward, but again, is he taking too long? How many wraiths do we have? 4. We have 4 wraiths so far. Only 2 Vikings for HonMonO. Wraiths, they can believe it. They can believe this back. Oof. They got 1 Viking. Just the one. HonMonO trying to rally from across the map. Tank. Oh, both tanks go down. Yeah, HonMonO's doing too much. He's losing far too much here. Cure, he's holding. He's holding on. Back. He's got his 4 tanks, he's got his Mass Wraith. He has a 2 base economy, and things are looking bleak for HonMonO. It was a cheeky build to rush into proxy tank like this and rush into proxy Marauder, but he didn't really get anything for it. He's killed 3 SCVs. Healed bunkers more than anything. Killed bunkers. Denied some mining. But HonMonO is falling further behind. Falling further and further behind here. HonMonO getting into the main. He's gonna get some economic damage. But he will lose this air army. At least he should. And GG gets called. HonMonO, he has nothing left, and Cure, he ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG, well played. We're going all the way to the ace match. Again, it was a bit of a quirky cheese and a bit of a quirky all-in by HonMonO. It didn't really gain any momentum. It kind of fell on its face. But with that, HonMonO takes a loss. It's going to be HonMonO's choice once again as to what race he wants to embrace. And once again, it looks like HonMonO is sticking with SC2 Terran. He's forcing Brood War at a Cure, and I'm hoping he takes a more macro approach this time. Hoping that is the case, but we'll see. We shall see as we're going the distance here. The final game of the series, the final game of the broadcast. Up next, we're loading into Holy Worlds. There's a lot to get into, man. A lot to get into. Brood War was the golden age. Playing LAN with 9 of my best friends is still one of my fondest memories. That is so cool. That's so cool. Here, the idea of playing LAN was like the idea of having multiple PCs in a household sounds crazy. So I never had that LAN experience, unfortunately. Like we never had that many. I don't think I had enough friends. Like the idea of like traveling with that massive like 20 kilo piece. That sounds crazy, but it sounds really cool. I know that a lot of people did experience that. For us, nah, not quite. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into the final game of the series. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Holy World, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Brood War Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Yellow Terran. We have the Yellow Terran player himself. It is HonMonO. Yes, SC2 Terran. Let's go and welcome one to Holy World. Holy World is a 4-player small map. You can spawn in top side, top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right as well. Here we go. So we do have 4 possible spawn locations, and we'll see how our players do open up. To be fair, I was a computer lab at school. That's fair. That's fair. It's fair. Reading Masters of Doom. It's so fun to play Doom on my Xbox and relive my childhood a bit. Let's go. Yeah, I think that was the more common, at least here, a little bit more common was because consoles back then were kind of built for multiple players, like going to your friend's house and like playing Smash on like the N64, playing Halo, of course. Good times. Good times. Oh, the nostalgia. Jesus, what's going on? As Cure, he's opening up 2 factory. So 2 factory opener out of Cure. You have my attention. I would imagine we're going into Massive Ultra. That would make the most sense in my mind. At the same time, we do see HonMonO going for his own double gas opener, Rax into factory. So tech heavy start out of HonMonO, going for an early Cyclone. So early Cyclone production out of our Terran player, going for the starport, staying on 1 base economy. And of course, he does find his opponent. Does find Cure. Find him. Meanwhile, I assumed it was going to be double factory Massive Ultra, but no double factory rushing into tank production early on. Starport's on the way. Cure, he refuses to expand. I mean, neither player's expanding, by the way. Both players staying on 1 base. Just a 1 base setup here. We have Macville accelerators from HonMonO rushing into Mass Cyclone, what looks to be. But with Siege Mode, with an early tank count, Cure, I don't know if he can be broken. HonMonO expands. Okay, HonMonO, he does expand. Cure is secure. Oof. You set up. Set up. Yeah, and with that Cure, I mean, there's no expansion yet, by the way. I would have assumed he would have gone to CC by now. But Cure, he's committing. He's committing on the one base setup, going Mass Vulture. We have Ion Thrusters on the way. We have Spider-Mines on the way as well. Cure, he's long distance mining. Let's go. And as Cure moves out, HonMonO, he moves in. Does get a scat as well. He confirms the mech. Confirms the production. Cure is still dropping. Ooh, as HonMonO snipes the control tower. Okay. Takes down the add-ons. Back at home, what does HonMonO have to defend? Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing here, just the production. HonMonO pulls away. Vulture drop into the main. Ah, but Spider-Mines aren't ready. Yes, Spider-Mine is not yet done. An anti-timing out of Cure. He's going in before the upgrade. Yeah, it does go in. The dropship's going to be hunted down. HonMonO is losing SCVs, but he's fine. He has 2 bases. He can afford to lose them. He can afford to lose some workers. As he has mules as well. We'll clean this up. And Cure finally forced to expand. So it's been a very intense early game here. Because of the 7 SCVs going down, Cure, he's holding his own. He can actually expand and get into a 2-base setup. So it's HonMonO. We have mech versus mech, but HonMonO rushing into a fusion core. Okay. Going for the fusion core, rushing into BC. Interesting. So BC rush out of our yellow Terran. Now what's scary about rushing into BCs like this, as the first Banshee is revealed, is that anti-air is going to be quite limited for Cure, but he's already massing up rates. So he's already building rates. Takes down the Banshee. Hopefully losing 5 SCVs. Academy's on the way for the Comsat station. HonMonO, he does continue his aggression. Getting ready with the Cyclone. Hoping to catch a Wraith even. And here comes the first battle cruiser. Comes the first BC. And again, there's no armory, which means there's no Goliath production. Without any Goliaths right now, we're just relying purely on the Wraiths for anti-air. And so far, there's only 2 Wraiths. We have the controls tower on the way. He's getting his tower. Drop into the main base, going for the starport. Shouldn't kill it. As boys are being pulled, we have tanks responding. Dropship, not another Wraith. So again, that anti-air is very limited here. Cloak is being researched. How many BCs do we have? This is the first battle cruiser. Second starport's on the way. Scan. Ah, the scan does miss the tech. Barely does miss the tech there. Barely out of vision. Again, we're scanning. It does get eyes on the starport production at least. As I believe that's the 3rd starport on the way. Here we go. Goliath production has begun. Okay, he saw. Yeah, he's at least somewhat aware. He saw the starport. Vulture drop into the main. At least into the bases. BC's revealed. Yeah, forced to reveal the BC. Now Kira knows, now he has confirmation. Ay. And back it up, we need turrets. We need to set up some turrets. Need more factories, more Goliaths. And we'll see what HonMonO can get done. That one vulture is still here. Oh no! Yeah, the vulture gets away. 6 SCV kills. BCs are moving in, but we have how many? We have 5 Goliaths and 2 Wraiths. You might as well help. Gets 2 Goliaths. 2 Goliaths go down. But that one BC taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of hits. Oh, has to teleport. Ooh, teleport's too late. Yeah, too little too late there for HonMonO. And he has to teleport in time. Does save 1 BC at least. But plenty of anti-air. Cure holds, he defends. What's scary here is that there's so much resources invested into these battle cruisers. The rest of the army is lacking. HonMonO, he has 1 tank. He has 1 tank, he has 4 Cyclones. He's making only BCs. Like, that is all his production. Just mass BC production out of HonMonO. Control tower. Curious moving out. Here in the center we have neutral disruption webs. They're kind of, think of them like permanent neutral blinding clouds. A lot of goods up. There's not that many Goliaths here, but there's more reinforcements coming in. A couple of nice Figos with the Yamatos. Here he doesn't push. He opts not to move out yet. HonMonO, he's making 3. He's just going mass BC. He's just mono BC. Let's go. I mean, BCs have a lot of potential just because they can go in, Yamato, and then teleport away. So they have a lot of mobility. Last getting put out of position. We got 1 teleport back home. It does pull away at the same time. We do have another drop. The drops are being dealt with. 10 SCV kills. And how many BCs do we have? 6. It's gonna be 9 battle cruisers. Oh boy. Getting up to 9 BCs up against 22 Goliaths. And remember, the tank count is quite low. It's a very low tank count for HonMonO. He's only got 2 tanks, which means the ground army here of Master Goliath can actually work. Ooh, miss rally. Yeah, massive miss rally. 1 BC gets thrown away for free. 1 BC goes down to 6 battle cruisers. Okay, now we're getting into tank production. HonMonO is making more tanks, but I believe that's the only factory. It's vulnerable. BC's a counterattack. Goliath's not moving in. Cure, we gotta do something. Either push in or go back home. Because these BCs are wreaking havoc. They're getting on top of the production. We gotta go for it. Yeah, he's gotta go. Does rush in, takes down 1 tank so far. There's still 2 tanks left. Can he break through the siege line? Gets one of the BCs. Gets a 2nd tank. There's 1 tank remaining. Yeah, 1 tank left. And Curie breaks through. He breaks through. He breaks into the natural, but he bled out a lot of Goliaths. That was how many? That was, Jesus, that was 21 Goliaths going down. Oh my god. And no more production, no more production. How many Goliaths are left? 17. 17 Goliaths remaining. See here, HonMonO getting on top of the factories. That is his win condition. Get on top of those factories. This is muling to repair. 1 BC goes down. We'll catch 1 battle cruiser. Goliaths stop stepping in. Oof. And brutal Yamatos. And HonMonO, I think he's done it here. I think the BC is just too efficient. Especially with the Yamatos. On top of the factories. There are 12 Goliaths left. It's almost 1-1. There's still 2 more BCs on the way. The BCs are teleporting into reinforce. And HonMonO, I think he has done it here. Yeah, more BCs. Everything floats away. Now, Kira does still have mining. He still has some saturation. True. That's a little bit of saturation. And we have some hidden starports on the way. Oh, nice catch on the orbitals. Very nice. HonMonO, he saves the starport. Is there a chance? Can he win by elimination? Can he just go for the buildings? Can he just hunt down the buildings instead? And with these rates, hunt down the starports as well. That's what he's going for. Yeah, that's what he's going for. I mean, chasing BCs is not going to be easy. Just because, again, they are so mobile. So, Goliath and commit. HonMonO is revealed. He has no more orbitals. But Goliath, can they kill buildings fast enough? I don't think they can. Oh, he's going in! Oh my god. He goes to the dive. Yeah, Yamato's not popping up. Yamato's as much as he can, and there are just not enough Goliaths. Not enough Goliaths here. HonMonO, he has done it. Chasing down the final army. Cloak is being researched. I feel like we've restarted Cloak like 3 or 4 different times. we've seen Cloak starting to research so often in this game and never finishing. Yeah, chases down the final Goliaths. Sure, he's down to 9 spider mines in the center of the map, but down to 8 SCVs where he has some mining top right, and he's down to 4 raids. With the help of Cloak, if Cloak finishes, if he builds up enough raids, he can maybe go in and like snipe a BC or at least force teleports, but there is maybe a chance. Remember, HonMonO has no way to detect. He has no scans, he has no detectors. I spoke too soon. Raven is on the way. He's getting a Raven. And a Viking. CC is still alive. Race, they're going for the Raven. Oh. I mean, again, he sees the starport, he knows. Oh no! Does get it. Raven goes down. Raven goes down. Cloak does finish. Okay. Here, it's go time. Sure, he can activate Cloak and he can maybe get some BC kills. Goes in. It's a lot of damage. Already 1 BC goes down. He gets 1. He gets 1 BC. He gets 2. He's gonna get everything. Oh my god, he gets a 2nd BC. Gets a Viking. So much free damage. The power of Cloak. Oh my god. As he teleports the hell out of there. And now Curie's hunting him down. Now, I would advise him to decloak and to preserve as much energy as he can. He doesn't want to waste it. Doesn't want to waste it, but he will find another battlecruiser. He's hunting. This BC has no teleport. This BC will be killed. More BCs are found. He hunts out another BC falls. And we're down to how many? Down to 3 BCs. 3 battlecruisers remaining. No teleport, he can't get away. Yo, Cloak lasts a long time. Cloak lasts a very long time here, and he's done it. Cure with Cloak. Again, if it wasn't for Cloak, he would not have been able to take these fights. Ooh, takes down the BC. There's one battlecruiser remaining. This is the final one. The final BC. No shot. Cure with the Cloak. And no shot HonMonO forces Q to kill all the buildings. Are we that petty? HonMonO, he can be. There we go. GG, good luck. And GG, nothing left. Cure, he will take the series 3-2. And Cure will advance on to the playoffs. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Cure, oh my god. GG, well played. Again, Cure, the one way to claw his way back into that game. As we mentioned, Cloak was denied so often this game. Finally, it finished, and with the help of Cloak, he was able to catch those battle cruisers, able to shut them down. There was zero detection, zero way to deal with those wraiths, at least Cloaked. And with that, GG, well played. Cure, he pulled it off. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. GG. Cure, he did clutch it. Very impressive. Very impressive. Again, Cure, he never gave up. Things were looking bleak. Things were looking very bleak for Cure, for sure. Things were looking rough. Nah, he got himself into it. Let's go. If you save the Raven, yeah, if he saved the Raven, for example, he would have forced, he probably would have forced Cure to dive on the Raven, would have maybe taken some Yamatos, and it's just, GG. GG. Oh my god. Crazy game. Crazy game. HonMonO has some of the most strangest games sometimes. Oh, I mean, he's just a strange player. He's makes for that. It was beautiful. That was beautiful. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure. And with that, we have our confirmed players. We have our confirmed players making it through into the playoffs here. We had Classic, of course. Classic took down HonMonO 2-0. Cure took down Remia 2-1. And then Classic made it through in first place, not dropping a single map in the group stage. And we had some crazy pop-offs here. HonMonO had a very strong start. He was up 2-0. He 2-0'd Remia, and he was up 2-0 against Cure. It was looking like a 3-0. And then HonMonO, he cheesed in game 3. It was very lackluster. Game 3. Likewise, game 2 as well. We had some crazy builds out of HonMonO, hyper aggression. And in the end, didn't quite pay off. I'm referring to the game on Sylphid. That's the game I'm referring to. And on Pylon as well. Sylphid and Pylon. HonMonO, he tried to cheese, he tried to proxy, tried to commit, and the builds, they fell on their face. And that led into, of course, the ace match, led into Holy World, where we saw went down to the wire, went down to elimination, went down to BC versus Wraith, versus Cloaked Wraith specifically. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Cure, as he does make it through. Again, Cure, I will say that he kind of stumbled his way through the group. His Brutal Terran still leaves much to be desired. It is less practice, less so than some of these other players, of course. So this is something that Cure is going to have to work on coming into the playoffs. It is a big weak point for Cure, but it is enough to carry. His StarCraft 2 skills are enough to carry him through the group stage. And hey, technically, even here in the final game, he did win with Brutal Terran. True, it was still a very shaky game, still very shaky, still very intense, but regardless, did pull it off. Very impressive. GG, well played. Very impressive play there by Cure. The tenacity, puppy. The tenacity. Crazy. Yeah. And with that, GG, well played. Did I miss all the sets today? Yes, we just finished the group. Ooh. And with that, we are wrapping up for the day. Again, we are going to be back later on tonight, of course, with some more casting, with a podcast specifically, as you can see here tonight. Thursday evening, we're live with the podcast. That's going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in 7 hours. In just under 7 hours' time, we're going to be live with the podcast. Also, we're going to be live tomorrow, Friday, with StarCraft Evolution with Group D. Group D is going to be tomorrow for the round 16. And of course, we have Little League Cup on Friday. Now, this graphic is not up updated. Over the weekend, we are going to be live with Maestros of the Game. That is a big French tournament. Big tournament happening in France, and a big offline event happening in Paris, in France. But the online stage is this weekend. The StarCraft Evolution League playoffs are also this weekend as well, but I believe we're going to be covering them via replays throughout the course of the week. Is the plan. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. As we are going to be wrapping up for the time being. And again, if you want some more StarCraft Evolution, tomorrow in less than 24 hours, we're going to be live with Group D. To finalize the group stage and to confirm the players making it into the playoffs. That's the plan. That is the plan here tomorrow. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you want to watch more of the CranKy Ducklings, you can check us out over on YouTube. !socials in the chat. YouTube. We'll give you a link to our YouTube channel. We do upload VODs on a daily basis. There's plenty of content on YouTube, plenty of content to consume. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go get some breakfast. I'm going to go rest up and get ready for the podcast. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Or tonight. We'll see you tonight or later on tomorrow. See you then. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.